When I was growing up, we had a bit of a routine in the Jackson household. Right after school, my mum would cook a big dinner for everybody in the family. And then not long after the dinner, you would hear the sound of 6 bells. These bells would be coming from the living room, and basically what they were was the sound of the 6 o'clock news starting on the TV. And then at this point, my mum would usually say, "Oh, the news is starting," and she'd scurry off out of the kitchen to the living room to watch the news. My dad would usually follow pretty much straight after, and this is a tradition that still holds true even up to now today. Hi again. The difference between me and my parents is I actually stopped watching the news a long time ago. If I had £1 for every time I tried to convince my parents not to watch the news over the years, I'd probably have enough to buy a different colour t-shirt than this one that I keep wearing on these videos. So why is it better to not watch the news? Well, if you're anything like me, then your intuition probably has already told you that it's not a good idea to watch the news. That's because when you watch the news, you just kind of feel shit. And nobody wants to feel shit. So that's one huge reason not to watch the news. The problem is that when you watch something that gives you a strong emotional response, it's human nature to kind of enjoy getting that dirty high and watching it. It's a bit like a drug, but not in a good way. The thing is that most people probably don't really notice it because it's so subtle. And this is one of the main reasons that things like reality TV shows like Love Island and stuff, the producers put drama into these shows because they know that it gets people hooked. I think the worst thing about watching the news is that these dirty highs, what you get, they're affecting your mood for the rest of the day. They are becoming ingrained in who you are and how you feel on a daily basis. And we don't realise that it's happening, but it's a quite an insidious kind of act that's happening almost against our will, because you're not conscious of it a lot of the time, and this is part of the problem. But if you actually become conscious and remind yourself, no, I'm not going to watch that because I know what it's going to do to me. I know that if I watch this, then eventually I'm going to start feeling like poop. It's a bit like when you wake up on a morning and the first thing you do is look at your phone. It's part of that same addiction. You're looking for the thing that's going to trigger that high, that dirty high. It's not good. It's not healthy. You're not going to be living a happy life if you keep doing this. So it's definitely something that needs to be cut out as soon as possible. And trust me, if you don't watch the news, you're not missing anything. This is the number one argument from people when they say you can't not watch the news because how will you know what's going on in the world? This is such a stupid argument. The biggest things that happen in the world, you're going to get to know about them. It doesn't matter if you watch the news or not, it's going to get to you. If you never watched the news and had no idea about COVID through TV or phone, you would still find out about COVID because it was such a big event. And it's the same with the news. Anything that has any real significant importance, you will find out about it without having to watch the news. And by the way, I'm not just talking about the news on TV, I'm talking about the news feed in your phone as well. Remember, when it comes to the newsfeed on your phone, these companies are purposely using clickbait titles that are trying to hook you in, get you to click on them because they're getting paid. They get paid for your clicks. Now, do you really want to pay these media corporations money for them giving you these dirty highs? It makes no sense. You'll literally be so much happier if you just don't look at any of this stuff. Remember that emotions flow where our attention goes. So if you're looking at death and destruction every day, multiple times a day, then what do you think that is going to do to your mood? All right, I'm not going to go on about it too much. I just thought I'd share my view on this because I think it's quite important, and I thought maybe there might be people out there who've never really thought about it in this way. Obviously, people aren't thinking too much when they're scrolling, and we can take a lot of information in without even realizing what it's really about and what it's doing to us on the inside. So if this can kind of give you some food for thought and make you a bit more picky about where you put your attention when it comes to your phone or on the TV, then I would be glad to know that it's helped even one person. So yeah, that's it. If you've liked the video or felt like you got something from it, then it would be good to hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, you can do that, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.